So Joe Rogan, if you don't know who Joe Rogan is, he has like the largest online podcast in the world. And he was speaking about Joe Biden versus Donald Trump because now Biden's looking like the presumptive nominee. Check out what he had to say in these couple of clips.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
But you have to be able to call out shit that's wrong on your side. And this is one of the problems that the Democratic Party's having right now with this Joe Biden guy. You guys got to be able to call it out. You can't let this slide because everybody else sees it, and Trump is going to eat him alive. He's going to eat that guy alive. The guy can barely remember what he's talking about while he's talking.
Do you know which one
This
it was?
is the real issue with the Democratic Party. They've essentially made us all morons with this Joe Biden thing. They really have. They made us all morons.
Who do we need? I mean,
I can't vote for that guy.
I can't vote for him.
I can't vote for him.
I can't vote for Trump.
I'd rather vote for Trump than him. I don't think he could handle anything. I mean, you're relying entirely on his cabinet. Like, if you want to talk about an individual leader that can communicate, he can't do that. And we don't even know what the fuck he's going to be like after a year in office.
I want people to take a good, hard look at the damage you've done. If you didn't support Bernie Sanders for whatever reason, and you ended up casting your vote for Joe Biden, I want you to see the consequences of that. I want you to really look at the full picture. So here we have Joe Biden. We have a man who has clear cognitive decline. You can go back to the clips from even 4 years ago, 8 years ago. This was a gifted public speaker. Now he can barely put together sentences. It's gibberish, word salad. It's literally a barrage of horse crap. It is disgusting and terrible to see because he is literally losing mental capacity before our eyes. And we're watching this unfold, and we are literally in awe because the Democratic Party and the whole political establishment forced this man down our throats. You had Pete and Amy drop out and endorse him. Beto endorsing him. Bloomberg eventually endorsing him. The whole establishment coalesced behind this one man, right? Now he's the presumptive nominee. He's gone on to have a huge delegate lead. The polls are all showing he's going to go on to be the nominee. And you need to look at the full consequences of that because Joe Rogan has the pulse of the people, right? Like, be outside of the echo chamber, outside of the MSNBC, CNN, that whole echo chamber. There's people like me and people like Joe and people, just average folks who either don't get the news or get their news from alternative sources, get their news from less inside the beltway types of sources. And for us, when we look at Joe Biden, we look at his disastrous record of not standing for our rights and our interests when it comes to the crime bill, the trade deals, the disastrous foreign policy decisions, go on and on and on down the list. When we look at that record and all the corruption, the millions of dollars he's taken from big pharma, insurance companies, Wall Street, I look at that and I say, you are corrupt. You are everything that is wrong with politics. I'm not going to stand for you regardless. But then you can't even put together sentences. At least Obama was a gifted speaker. Joe Biden can't speak. This man is starting to lose it. He's starting to lose his abilities. It's clear. So stop denying it. Look at what you've done and imagine that up against Donald Trump. If the whole objective was to beat Donald Trump, imagine what you voted for up against Donald Trump. And you tell me with a straight face that you made the right decision. Even beyond the fact that he doesn't support universal health care in the midst of a pandemic. Even beyond the fact that for 40 years he didn't support tuition-free college. Now all of a sudden comes out in favor of it so we can pander for our votes. For 40, 50 years, didn't support raising the minimum wage $15 an hour. Now all of a sudden, I'm such a staunch fighter for the workers. I've been there. I've been a progressive. Look, man, Joe Biden is everything that's wrong with politics. And whatever's left of him, I still wouldn't vote for. But the fact of the matter is, the man can't speak. The man isn't even there. And even if he was all the way there, I'm not voting for it. I'm not doing it, and neither should any of you. He doesn't deserve your vote. Now, am I saying that, in Joe's words, is Joe Biden worse than Trump? I wouldn't go that far, no. Donald Trump is obviously disastrous on all of his buddies. They are the purest form of what's wrong with politics, but Joe Biden is simply not that far off. He's not that far off. If you truly look at his record, if you look on the most important pieces of legislation and decisions that we've had to make over the last 40 to 50 years, he has always been on the wrong side of history. Always. He has never fought for the priorities that are nearest and dearest to our hearts, people like you and me. He's never has. He never has. And he's certainly never gone far enough. Certainly never gone far enough. And you can say, oh man, he's being pragmatic. You can say, oh man, he's just trying to work out the best deal. Really? Tell that to his 60 billionaire donors. Tell that to how look at how he talks behind the scenes. And you come back and tell me, is this man really fighting for you? When he's going to Wall Street little clubs and little fundraisers and telling them, quote unquote, nothing's really going to change. That's what he represents. That's what y'all voted for. And I just want you to take a good, honest look at the consequences of that, because I don't think he's going to beat Donald Trump, and I'm certainly not going to be even supporting him in the effort to beat Donald Trump, because Joe Biden is everything that's wrong with politics, and so is Donald Trump. And hopefully, the re-election of Donald Trump will show the Democratic establishment that they have made this mistake far too many times, and it's time for progressives to take over this party.
Riding, yeah,